That moment when new life enters this world, especially human life, it's a moment of joy, expectation of a life well lived. But when my nephew was born, it also brought to me a sense of dread, fear in fact, because I knew that the world that he was going to grow up in was quite different than the one that I grew up in. In 50 years since we went into space and looked back at our fragile Earth and that small slither of atmosphere, in that time, with that understanding of how isolated we are, we continued to damage our ecosystems, degrade our biodiversity to such an extent that now we have only 35% of our wilderness left over. 50% of our fertile land goes to farming, not to biodiversity. Of mammalian life on this planet, the weight of mammalian life, 4% of it is from mice to whales. Over a third is human, and 60% are the animals that we farm to eat. These facts come from one of the most trusted, loved and respected men on the planet, Sir David Attenborough. It's pretty scary stuff. And when I looked into those eyes, those innocent eyes, I felt I had to do something about it. I felt I had to be part of the solution or I would be part of the problem. So I threw myself into a degree in sustainability. When I graduated, I started to approach companies and work with companies around sustainability, but I found 3 barriers consistently. They were time, cost and knowledge. We don't have the time, we don't have the money, and we don't even know what sustainability is really. Solar panels, isn't it? And if they did know, they didn't have the time or the money to be able to work out what to do about it. I come from an aviation background. My first career was a pilot. My last job was with Qantas, flying around the world. So checklists are second nature to me. And I had started a checklist about what actions to take when I work with a company. And this list became quite large. And one day I realized, instead of just working one-on-one with companies, I can work with the world through software. So I formed GreenKPI, Sustainability Management Software. It's an action-focused software that supplies actions to companies. Step-by-step actions, from the small, granular, should be obvious kind of stuff to the larger, systematic change. It's based on the Global Reporting Initiative, which is the oldest and the most established sustainability standard that's available, and it's very prescriptive. The idea is as companies carry out their actions, their resource use will decrease because their efficiencies will improve. Their environmental and social impact will decrease. So we capture those metrics in qualitative and quantitative measurements. We automate a sustainability report that captures the actions that have been completed and the reductions in those impacts, which can be shared with stakeholders, customers, investors, accreditations, and increasingly government regulations. My boast will be to my nephew when he's an adult, will be the aggregate report from all the companies that we've worked with over the years. A report to show what GreenKPI did for him and every child that he represents about what we did to reduce the impact on the environment and society. By working together, the same intelligence that brought us to the moon, that's taking us to Mars, can save our own planet. But it's a matter of 8 billion people working together. And we can do it, step by step, but we need to take action now. This is the decade of action. This is our chance. And that's what GreenKPI is focused on. Thank you.